Hey warriors, welcome back to the channel. There's a reason you keep losing control. A reason people can still provoke you, manipulate you, and pull you into their chaos. It's because you still care too much. You still let your emotions guide you. You still let others dictate your peace. In this world, the one who stays calm while everyone else loses their mind wins everything. Think about it. The calm man is feared. The emotional man is controlled. When chaos erupts, when people panic, argue, or break, the one who stays silent becomes the one everyone looks at. Because stillness is dominance. Machiavelli once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." The fool reacts. The wise man observes. He lets everyone reveal themselves first, their anger, fear, insecurity, while he remains untouchable. His calmness is not peace, it's strategy. His silence is not weakness, it's a weapon. Calmness is a form of psychological warfare. When you don't react, you deny others the satisfaction of control. You make them question themselves. You break their confidence without saying a word. The loudest person always exposes their emotions, but the calm one, the one who doesn't flinch, doesn't explain, doesn't chase, becomes terrifying. This world doesn't reward the kind. It rewards the composed. It rewards the one who doesn't fall apart when things go wrong. Everyone wants to be confident, but few understand that composure commands more than confidence ever could, because confidence can be faked. Calmness cannot. In this video, you'll learn how to become cold, not lifeless, but controlled. Calm, not weak, but unreadable. You'll learn how to stop chasing approval, how to find peace in the middle of storms, how to turn silence into your shield, how to make people respect you without saying a single word. Because once you master your emotions, nobody can use them against you. That's when you become something different, something rare, a man impossible to break. Right now, drop this affirmation in the comments. I control the storm within. Number 1. Find peace inside chaos. The weak wait for peace to come to them. The powerful create it within themselves, even when everything around them burns. Chaos isn't a signal to panic. It's a stage built for those who know how to stand still while others collapse. When the world screams, you whisper. When people rush, you move like water, slow, deliberate, unshaken. Anyone can be calm when life is gentle, but only the rare can stay centered in the storm. Machiavelli once said, "He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command." But you cannot command anything if you cannot first command yourself. Every situation is a battle between your impulses and your intelligence. Chaos tests which one truly leads you. Most people break because they believe peace is something external, a place, a break, a moment. But the strategic mind knows peace is internal, forged in fire, born in moments where everyone else loses control. It's not about escaping the storm. It's about becoming the calm inside it. When others argue, you observe. When they fight to be heard, you conserve your energy. Your silence becomes a mirror that exposes their instability. The moment you stop reacting to noise, noise stops having power over you. Life will test you. Conflict, betrayal, confusion, pain. Not to destroy you, but to see if you can remain centered. Breathe through the fire. Let it pass through you without consuming you. Because once you realize peace isn't found, it's built, you stop waiting for the world to calm down. you become the calm. Drop this affirmation. I am calm in the storm. Number 2. Strength is born in silence. Silence is not emptiness. It is power waiting to be unleashed. The loud speak to prove themselves. The strong stay quiet to protect their advantage. Real strength does not announce itself. It moves like a shadow, observing everything, calculating every detail. When you understand the value of silence, you stop wasting energy on words that don't matter. Every time you argue, explain, or defend yourself, you give away a part of your power. Machiavelli once said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves." Silence is the bridge between the two. It teaches patience, and patience breaks those who rush. The less you reveal, the more others imagine. The more they imagine, the more they fear. Because the unknown is terrifying. A man who says nothing forces others to guess, and their guessing becomes their prison. That is psychological warfare. Make others reveal themselves while you remain unreadable. In silence, you see what others cannot. Tone, intention, weakness.
Most people talk to fill the void. The strategic mind uses the void as a mirror. Let them talk. Let them reveal themselves. You simply listen, observe, store, and strike when the time is right. That is strength. Not the kind that needs recognition, but the kind that quietly dictates outcomes. The more silent you become, the more people project their fears onto you. They'll call you cold, distant, arrogant, simply because they cannot read you. Understand this: their discomfort is proof of your power. So let your silence do the work that words never could. Because a quiet mind is a dangerous weapon. It hears everything, forgets nothing, and waits without emotion. That is where real strength is born. In silence so deep, even chaos cannot reach it. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence holds power. Number 3. Stop chasing approval. Let it chase you. The moment you start seeking validation, you hand over your freedom. Approval is a leash disguised as praise. The more you crave it, the easier you are to control. Most people don't realize their entire lives are built around the opinions of others. How they dress, how they speak, how they behave, even what they dream. But when you live like that, you stop living for yourself. You become a performer in a show you didn't choose, playing to an audience that doesn't even care. Machiavelli once said, "Men are driven by two impulses, love or fear." The masses chase love because it feels safe. The powerful embrace respect because respect commands. Seeking approval makes you predictable. Predictability kills power. You mold yourself into what others want, constantly shrinking your truth to fit their comfort. And each time you do that, a piece of your authenticity dies. Power begins the moment you stop explaining yourself, when you stop needing permission to exist as you are. Approval is an illusion. People respect those who do not seek it. When you move with certainty and purpose, people feel it. Confidence without validation is rare. Humans are drawn to what they cannot influence. So the one who does not care about being liked becomes the one everyone tries to impress. That is the paradox of power. The less you chase approval, the more it follows you. To master this, you must learn detachment. Detach from praise. Detach from criticism. Detach from being seen. The strategic mind understands that being liked is temporary, but being respected is eternal. Respect is born from boundaries, from the ability to say no without explanation. When you no longer fear disapproval, you become immune to manipulation. People will test your resolve. They will withhold validation, challenge your decisions, try to make you doubt yourself. They want to see if your identity is self-made or borrowed. Most crumble because they mistake silence for rejection. But the wise one knows rejection is simply redirection toward power. When you stop chasing acceptance, you begin to attract it. You become magnetic. Not because you try to be seen, but because you do not need to be. People are drawn to what they cannot fully understand. And detachment is the deepest mystery of all. Your independence becomes your throne. So stop proving, stop pleasing. Let them chase you. Because true authority isn't given by others. It is claimed by the one who no longer asks for it. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I don't seek approval. Number 4. Composure commands more than confidence. Confidence can be faked. Composure cannot. Anyone can talk loudly, act fearless, puff their chest. But when real pressure hits, their mask cracks. Composure is different. Composure is the quiet authority that never shakes, no matter how intense the storm becomes. It's the presence that silences a room without a single word. When you walk with composure, you don't need to prove anything. Your energy speaks louder than your voice ever could. Machiavelli once wrote, "It is better to appear virtuous, but be ready to adapt when circumstances demand it." That is composure, the ability to remain balanced while the world swings from extreme to extreme.
The world celebrates confidence because it can be seen, but it fears composure because it cannot be broken. The confident man wants attention. The composed man already has it. When others argue, he listens. When they rush, he slows down. When they try to provoke him, he remains unmoved. And that is when people realize he is different. They feel his control. They sense his depth. He does not rise to every challenge, because reacting is surrendering control to chaos. The composed man studies the battlefield, while others exhaust themselves. His calm becomes a weapon sharper than aggression. True composure is forged through discomfort, through situations that test your patience, tempt your ego, and trigger your emotions. Every moment you resist the urge to react, you build a fortress inside your mind. The strongest men in history were not the loudest. They were the most disciplined under pressure. They understood that the ability to stay calm under attack is more intimidating than any outburst of strength. When you keep your tone steady and your eyes firm while others lose control, you dominate without confrontation. That's how leaders are born, not by shouting commands, but by carrying a stillness that others instinctively follow. Composure is also the death of manipulation. People can't twist your emotions if they can't read them. They can't control your mind if they can't predict your reaction. That's why being calm isn't passive. It's the highest form of defense. It's awareness. It's strategy. It's patience disguised as silence. When you master composure, you stop living on impulse. You begin to respond with precision. Every gesture becomes intentional. Every decision comes clean of emotion. That's when you rise above noise and nonsense. Confidence may burn bright for a moment, but composure endures through every season. Because the man who stays calm under pressure commands both respect and fear. And that combination is power. Never let chaos dictate your tone. Never let noise shake your core. Because once you master composure, you don't just control yourself, you control the room. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My calm commands power. Number 5. Feel everything. Show nothing. You're not supposed to be emotionless. You're supposed to be unreadable. The strongest men feel everything: pain, betrayal, disappointment, rage, but they never let the world see it. They turn emotion into intelligence. Every feeling becomes fuel. Every scar becomes strategy. Because when you show your emotions to the wrong eyes, they hand them the keys to control you. Machiavelli once said, "Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception." The same applies to your emotions. You don't win by exposing them. You win by mastering them. Most people confuse expression with strength. They think venting every feeling makes them real. But the world doesn't reward emotional transparency. It exploits it. The more people know what affects you, the easier it is for them to use it against you. The moment someone learns what makes you angry, anxious, or desperate, they've already mapped your weaknesses. The strategic mind knows emotions are signals, not instructions. You can feel everything without reacting to anything. That's emotional control. The art of letting energy move through you without losing your center. When anger rises, don't explode. Study it. When sadness comes, don't drown. Observe it. Emotions lose power when you refuse to perform for them. That is what separates the powerful from the powerless. The powerful turn emotional storms into silent strategy sessions. They don't deny their pain, they refine it.
Showing emotion is not strength. Controlling it is. Silence confuses the manipulative. Indifference disarms the arrogant. Composure destroys the curious who wait to see you fall. Your calm under pressure drives others mad because it reveals their lack of control. When they expect a reaction and receive stillness, they begin questioning their own power. That is psychological dominance. Understand this. The goal is not to feel nothing. The goal is to feel deeply, yet remain unshaken. Every emotion you conquer becomes a brick in your foundation of power. Most people run from their emotions because they fear being consumed by them. You will learn to stand still while they rage, knowing storms pass, but discipline remains. Because the man who can face his emotions without letting them define him becomes untouchable. The world will test you. It will throw people, loss, temptation, just to see if you break. But you will not. You will feel everything, yet show nothing. You will let others wonder what moves behind your eyes while you quietly build your empire. That is not suppression, that is mastery. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I feel deeply, but reveal nothing. Every reaction is a confession. The moment you respond impulsively, you reveal what controls you. Weak minds are slaves to emotion, constantly dragged by anger, jealousy, or fear. They react because they lack inner discipline, because silence feels unbearable to them. Strong minds don't rush to respond. They study, they interpret, they understand. They see beyond the surface of every situation. Machiavelli once said, "A prince never lacks legitimate reasons to break his promise." Meaning, the wise do not act from emotion, but from reason. They bend situations to their favor because they understand before they move. The fool reacts immediately, giving away his intentions. The strategist observes, learning how to turn every attack into an advantage. Understanding is power because it gives you choice. Reaction is slavery because it gives others control. When you react, your enemies lead. When you understand, you lead them. The modern world conditions people to react instantly. Social media, arguments, competition,
Endless noise pushing you to answer, to defend, to explain. But that's how the weak expose their insecurities. The Machiavellian mind knows that silence after provocation is not avoidance, it's dominance. Because when you delay your reaction, you create tension. And in that silence, others start revealing their intentions, their fears, their limits. That's when understanding becomes your weapon. You begin to see who is emotional, who is manipulative, who is genuine. And once you understand them, you can control them. Weak minds crave to prove themselves right. Strong minds care only to know what's true. That difference defines power. Understanding requires patience, and patience belongs only to the disciplined. A calm observer learns more in 1 minute of silence than a reactive person learns in a lifetime of noise. The strong don't need to defend their image. They let results speak. They don't argue for dominance. They plan in silence. They don't chase respect. They make it inevitable. The one who reacts becomes predictable. The one who understands becomes a ghost, untouchable and unreadable. To master understanding, you must train your ego to be silent. Don't assume. Don't take things personally, and never let emotion decide for you.
When someone disrespects you, don't rush to defend your pride. Ask why they needed to. When someone lies to you, don't confront them immediately. Study what fear made them do it. When you start understanding instead of reacting, you turn every insult into information, every conflict into clarity, every betrayal into education. And that's when your power becomes unbreakable. Because the mind that understands has already won before the reaction even begins. Remember, every fool can react, but only a ruler can remain calm enough to understand. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I don't react, I understand. Number 7. Power doubles when you stop explaining. The moment you stop explaining yourself, you step into real authority. People who constantly justify their actions reveal uncertainty, and uncertainty invites control. The more you explain, the more you weaken your position, because explanation is an apology disguised as reasoning. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Fear doesn't come from words, it comes from mystery. When people can't read your motives, they respect you out of caution. But when you explain every move, you become transparent, and transparency kills power. The Machiavellian mind understands that silence creates hierarchy. When you speak less, your words gain weight. When you explain less, your actions gain impact. The powerful don't waste energy proving their worth. They let their results speak with brutal clarity. Every explanation invites debate, and debate is a trap. The wise never enter that battlefield. They simply state, act, and move on. The strong know that their decisions require no approval, and their silence after judgment terrifies those who expected justification. People don't want the truth, they want comfort. When you explain, you try to comfort them, and in doing so, you lower yourself. But when you remain silent, you force them to sit with uncertainty, and that uncertainty becomes your power. A calm man who doesn't explain himself appears dangerous, because people can't predict him. They wonder what he knows, what he's planning, what he might do next. That psychological edge is priceless. Stop telling people your reasons, your dreams, your next move. Let them guess. Let them misunderstand. Power is built in the shadows, not in discussions. You owe no explanation for your choices, your silence, or your distance. Every time you resist the urge to explain, you reinforce your independence. People will call you arrogant, cold, mysterious. Let them. Their confusion proves they no longer have access to your mind. Because true power isn't loud, it's silent. It moves without permission and acts without applause. The one who doesn't explain holds the advantage of unpredictability. And unpredictability is the heartbeat of dominance. Never explain your intentions, just execute. Never reveal your strategy, just let the results appear. Power doubles when you realize silence is your greatest answer.